We're here, Engineer Ty, Charlie, and Andy. This is Kate. Kate is our blue train. She's going to take us all on approximately a 15-minute ride all the way around the perimeter of our 30-acre zoo. How loud is that for you guys back there? Is that okay? Not too loud? Awesome. So this is the only place we get on and off the train, so we ask that you remain seated at all times. And also please keep your arms and legs, wings and beaks, flippers, whiskers, claws, and of course your tails on the train with you for the entire journey. So sit back and enjoy the ride, everybody. All aboard.
Just making sure. Now maybe move some overnight.
There's a monkey in the tree.
And away we go, everybody, all aboard again, and welcome to the Santa Barbara Zoo Railroad. Now I will be telling you a little bit about some of the things we see as we go around this 30-acre property. And I'd like to start off over here with our Toco toucans over here on the right-hand side, up in the upper right corner. An adorable male and female pair of Toco toucans, the largest and the most common of all 40 species of toucan. Although they're the largest, they only weigh about 1.5 pounds. And you see how closely those two are sitting next to each other. They are a male and a female. Their names are Fig and Ambu. And as they say, one bird can't make a family, but two can. And we're hopeful that these two toucans will decide to build a nest in the future. Now, let's all say hi to the rare yellow-shirted species that is migratory here and flies through this area every summer. These are our zoo campers. Also, the Toco toucans have just begun doing something which you may notice. They've started whacking their beaks at each other. It looks like they're fighting. They'll sit really close and they'll start clacking their beaks together. It makes a lot of noise. And it looks like they really don't like each other. But in fact, the opposite is true. Beak sparring, it's called, is known as a sign of courtship and friendship. So that's a very good sign that they might decide to have chicks in the future. So we're pretty happy about that. Now as we come down the hill, everybody, our small-clawed Asian otters live over there on the right-hand side. Smallest otters in the world, the only otters that have fingers on their paws, and they are utterly adorable. I hope you'll check them out. Also on the right-hand side, up in the tree directly across from us, we have Hank and Corey. Hank is a blue and gold macaw. Corey is a scarlet macaw. And these two are a bonded pair. Both of these young birds are about 30 years of age. They'll live to be into their 70s. And they are a bonded pair. Beneath them in Swan Lake, we have Nina and Shadow, our black-feathered swans, native to Australia and New Zealand. And we're entering a part of the zoo now that can only be seen from the train. Or if you work here, of course, because this is the backstage part of the zoo. Behind the scenes where some of the daily activities go on to keep the zoo running smoothly. Our administration building over there, and shipping and receiving, always busy places. On the right-hand side is the Discovery Pavilion, and in that building are kitchens where many of our animal meals are prepared. There's even a window in there through which you can watch as our dietitians prepare food for the animals. This very important building on the right is our veterinary hospital. And in many ways, it's similar to a human hospital. We have a full operating room in there. Lots of equipment like CAT scan machines and x-ray machines, even a dental clinic for our animals' teeth. Our vets make house calls too, of course, for the large animals who don't fit through the doors, like the giraffes and gorillas. Back here, some little enclosures where Hank and Corey and some of the other birds come at the end of the day. Back here, they stay safe, they stay warm on a cool night. They always have a lot of toys to play with back here. And in the case of high winds, we can pull those curtains to protect the birds. anybody is curious about our little train engines, they are powered by regular gasoline, so we have a little mini gas station over there too. And we're hopeful that someday we might be able to get the electric version of this train, which is currently available. This is Gibbon Island, and Gibbon Island is currently uninhabited. We've had a species called white-handed gibbons here for over 50 years. And just a few weeks ago, our most recent gibbon moved to the Honolulu Zoo. Bono is his name, 42 years of age. He lived here for about 6 years. And he got a call from a middle-aged female living at the Honolulu Zoo who needed a new companion. So he took her up on that offer and moved with his favorite zookeeper. In fact, one of our guest services people just got back from Honolulu last night. He went to the Honolulu Zoo and visited Bono and saw his new home and met his mate and said he's doing really well. So the good news is that we are eagerly awaiting the arrival of 2 new white-handed gibbons for the island. Hopefully we'll get a breeding pair. We can start a new generation here at the Santa Barbara Zoo. They don't swim. White-handed gibbons are apes and not monkeys. They do not swim. They're physically unable to swim. They instinctively stay there on dry land, so this habitat is just perfect for them. And they're also known as the acrobats of the rainforest, so they're built for swinging in the trees. So check back with us and you can come meet our white-handed gibbons when they arrive. The beautiful property over here on the left-hand side belongs to the city of Santa Barbara. 42 acres in all. Now those are ruddy ducks out there, those brown and white ducks with bright blue beaks. Those are called ruddy ducks. And this property has a shallow lagoon, which is brackish, a combination of fresh and salt water. The Audubon Society has identified 200 different species of birds here. So if you're a bird lover, this is really a phenomenal property. The islands were man-made about 100 years ago. And that big white building that we see over there on the hill, that belongs to the Montecito Country Club, surrounding golf course, of course. And it's time for the whistle. Across the trestle, take a look over on the right-hand side, up above the bridge. We have 4 California condors living here with us. Santa Barbara Zoo, one of the few places in the entire world where you can get a good close look at a California condor. So if you haven't been up there to see them yet, I hope you'll go pay them a visit. They are vultures. They are enormous. They have a wingspan of 9.5 feet. They eat things down on the ground that have died, called carrion. And back in 1987, they were virtually extinct. There were only 22 of them left in the wild in 1987, but thanks to conservation efforts, we now have over 550 condors in the world. But better yet, over 300 of those flying freely in the wild. They only lay 1 egg every 2 years. Now we do have western lowland gorillas who look a little bit like that guy. Western lowland gorillas are a critically endangered species from Western Africa, and we have Nzinga and his brother Bangori, full brothers, born in Brownsville, Texas. There's Jake, the giant mosaic snake. And I'd like to introduce you to our tower of Maasai giraffes. Let's see, I can see 1, 2, 3. Where's the 4th? We have 4 Maasai giraffes living here with us. Oh yeah, there I go. I couldn't see Malia, the little one hiding over here behind the rocks. So the shortest one that you see over here on the right-hand side is Malia. She's not yet 2 years old. She's still very much a baby. Her big brother Ramy is on her right. And let's see who's on the left there. I believe that is Theo, our 5-year-old male, which means Mama's over there on the far right. Now, the good news with our Maasai giraffe tower, a group of giraffes called a tower of giraffes, although we have 4 living here now, hopefully by the end of summer we'll have 5, because Adia is pregnant. So we are expecting a baby giraffe. Now, it's very difficult to tell exactly when Mama will give birth. The full gestation is 15 months or so. We estimate that she's about 12 months along. but it's, again, very difficult to tell. So our zookeepers have told us to keep our eyes open. It could actually be born anytime between now and the end of summer. So we're pretty excited about that. Yeah, and this is Theo. So you see the big guy over here? He's on the left. He's standing on the left there next to Malia. This will be his first calf. His first time papa here at the Santa Barbara Zoo. The father of the other two is Michael, and if you've been to the zoo before, you probably remember Michael. He passed away a little over a year and a half ago. From old age, he was very famous. He actually sired 11 calves during his time here in Santa Barbara. Giraffes are herbivores, so they have to eat all the time to get enough calories in that big body. They don't sleep very much. Giraffes only sleep an hour or two a day, unlike our African lions over here right next door. Ralph up there on the right. Hey, Ralph, I wish you would wake up for us. 18 to 20 hours a day. These lions are sleeping, although we call it lying around. And there's Felicia up there on the right. Aren't they beautiful? Felicia is 7 years old. She's an unusually large, powerful female. She weighs about 320 pounds. And her mate Ralph is 9.5 and weighs just over 400 pounds. And they are absolutely a wonderful pair. They're very closely bonded. They met here in Santa Barbara in 2020. Felicia came from South Carolina, the Columbia Zoo. Ralph came from the Indianapolis Zoo. And they hit it off so well. They already have one daughter who's fully grown and lives in Boise, Idaho with her new mate. So we're very, very hopeful that Ralph and Felicia will have more cubs. We're optimistic about that. Our African elephant replicas, looks like they're heading down to the beach with their trucks on. And let's see what else I can tell you about. The white tents over here on the right-hand side are classrooms, and these are used by all of our education programs, our zoo camps. We even have a fully accredited outdoor preschool here in the state of California. We're crossing what was once a driveway because all of this was a private home, a private estate, owned by an eccentric, generous woman named Lillian Child. And in 1947, Mrs. Child donated her entire estate to the Santa Barbara Foundation. Let's see, is Poppy out here? Poppy's a capybara, the largest rodent in the world. Capybaras are native to South America, and they love to swim, so you might see her in the water. Here we go.
Going in a tunnel. Going in a tunnel. Oh.
And here we are, everybody, back in the station. Please remain seated until the train is at a full stop. Be very careful. Watch your heads as you get off the train. And for all of us here at the Santa Barbara Zoo, thank you again so much for riding the train with us today. And have a super duper afternoon.
Super duper afternoon.